Did you spot Layla holding a cucumber on a stick? Yep, that's a new handheld food item. More on that in a second. Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're digging even deeper into the 3.0 update coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons in January and breaking down all of these super tiny details that you still don't know or may have missed the first time around. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Decorated trees. Starting with something that's super easy to miss even after a few watches is decorated cedar trees. As you know, Luna adds a new feature to New Horizons that allows players to have multiple islands and decorate them freely in what is essentially a creative mode. Whilst in these slumber islands, you can of course terraform and decorate as you see fit using any items you've encountered back on your own island. Anyway, if you look carefully at the menu of trees available to the player in the 3.0 update trailer, you can spot both a cedar tree and a decorated cedar tree with lights already on it. These cedar trees are usually only available over the holidays, and the lights spawn randomly on any given day, plus when you pick one up and plant it again, the lights disappear, making it very difficult to decorate with them. But on a slumber island, we'll be able to specifically place these decorated cedar trees, which is super cool. Special door. Next up, we're discussing another tiny detail that's so easy to miss. It took me a few times of watching to spot it. As you know, the 3.0 update adds the resort hotel facility to the New Horizons island. This facility is all about decorating hotel rooms for visitors and trying to attract even more villagers to your island. Anyway, the 3.0 update trailer confirmed with this awesome looking floor plan that we can have at least 8 hotel rooms that we will need to decorate. However, something you may have missed is the tiny little door icon next to the standard door icon. Now, it's pretty clear the standard door icon is for hotel rooms 1 to 8, presumably on the first floor, as demonstrated by these 8 guests here. So what's this special door icon? Well, we don't know, but it's an interesting detail that may suggest special rooms or upgraded areas. My guess is we may even have to make mini facilities such as gyms or swimming pools for our guests to use. Let me know what you think this special door icon is for in the comments below. 4-person limit. Moving on, a new version of Animal Crossing New Horizons is coming to Nintendo Switch 2 alongside the 3.0 update. This version of Animal Crossing New Horizons includes a couple of additional features that make use of the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware and its extra features such as the microphone, amongst others. One feature in particular is the camera feature that allows players to stream themselves into the game and display their faces above the character whilst roaming the New Horizons island. Well, it turns out that this feature is capped at 4 players, so only 4 players can add their faces to their characters at any one time. It's quite weird given multiplayer has been increased to 12 players and all 12 can use game chat. But yeah, interesting tidbit that's easily overlooked when watching the trailer. Axis locking. Now, a huge feature that I literally didn't even spot until today when researching for this video is what appears to be streamlined terraforming and placing mechanics. If you watch closely, you can see the player placing fence panels and with a single side step is moving to the right to place the next. This is a huge quality of life improvement and is a very unique way to streamline this process, meaning you no longer have to step away and realign yourself each time. What's more is this mechanic appears to have also been added to terraforming, including waterscaping, where the player can dig out some river and easily move to the side to dig out the next, as well as deconstructing cliffs in the same manner, digging out a cliff, moving to the side and digging out the next without having to keep realigning. It even works backwards. You can see the player snap backwards one tile, ready to dig the next. I'm shocked they even thought of this and didn't really know I needed it until I realized what was going on here. I'm also pretty shocked I missed this until now. Anyway, this is probably triggered using a shoulder button and a direction arrow or something when placing items or terraforming, so we can lock into a specific axis or direction. Let me know if you're happy this was added. dock lights. Next up, we have probably the tiniest detail in the entire 3.0 update trailer, but I love it so much I had to include it. If you look carefully, you can spot tiny little lights on the posts of the dock leading to the new resort hotel. It's even more clear when they're actually lit up at nighttime. It doesn't really mean anything, but it's just such a cute detail and really makes the atmosphere around the hotel that much more cozy and inviting. We need more paths and lights like this. 1 acre island. Moving on, we'll get to even more pretty awesome details that most people missed, but first, let's quickly jump back to Slumber Islands and talk about the smallest island available. When beginning a multiple island using Luna's Slumber World, you can of course select one of 3 island sizes, including small, medium and large islands. Well, it turns out that the small island itself is literally 1 acre in size. That's so small, the river mouth takes up 1/3 of the land. To give you a better idea of just how small this is, the resident services would basically only just fit on it. What do you think would be the best theme for these small slumber islands? Let me know in the comments. Box requirements. Now, I'm sure you remember that the resort hotel also adds a new furniture box feature. The box that's located right next to Cap'n tasks players with crafting specific DIY recipes so you can then donate them to Cap'n so he can deliver them to far off lands. Well, you might also notice that sometimes the box will task you with crafting multiple items. However, you don't need to remember this number because something you may have missed is that the game does it for you. When crafting items, not only can you multi-craft as many as you like now, but the crafting menu now displays exactly how many the furniture box currently requires for that specific item. Again, this is such a tiny detail but a huge quality of life addition and means you just don't need to remember how many you need to craft, which is pretty cool. I wonder how many other little details like this we will uncover when the update drops. Let us know in the comments some other quality of life updates you hope Nintendo include. Guest outfits. Now, speaking of the resort hotel, we've already touched on the fact the whole idea is to invite even more villagers to the island, and we know at least 8 will visit at any one time. Well, if you watch the 3.0 update trailer carefully, you'll notice that not only can these hotel guests roam the island whilst they're staying in the hotel, unlike campers for example, but they can also interact with the hotel mannequins and borrow outfits too during their stay. It's kind of like how residents will wear your custom designs displayed at the Able Sisters, but instead they're wearing the entire outfit you've displayed inside the hotel. Handheld food. At the start of the video I mentioned Layla holding a cucumber on a stick, which is thought to be a new handheld food item. Well, it seems that this is something we'll be able to buy from inside the hotel. Something you may have overlooked is that there's a rather interesting looking counter next to grams themed around these cucumbers, and I think it's safe to assume that it's possible to interact with this counter and purchase a cucumber of your own. If you're wondering why cucumbers, well, kappa in Japanese mythology are heavily linked to cucumbers, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, it looks like we'll be able to purchase these cucumbers and probably eat them. I imagine the store to be much like Red's raffle on Halves Island. Custom crossover. Now, the 3.0 update coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons will be introducing an array of collaborations and crossover items, including LEGO themed items, Zelda items, and of course Splatoon items. The trailer highlights that the LEGO furniture can of course be customized into various colors, which is pretty much a first for promotional items. Anyway, the customization of crossover items doesn't stop there, because even items from the Zelda and Splatoon sets can be customized. 2 examples include the rupee, which we see here in a variety of colours, as well as the Splatoon locker, that's shown as one colour in the catalogue and another when placed in the room. This is basically going to at least quadruple the amount of items added to the game. If you found this video interesting, be sure to post cucumber in the comments just to let me know you did, and be sure to include what you think that special door icon is for. I'd love to know, and I might use your answers in a future video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.